Alright, yeah, and welcome back to some more Magic Duels. This episode is sponsored by 5 Color Combo, so if you check the description you'll find a link to their website where you can find some really cool Magic the Gathering tokens made by real Magic the Gathering artists, so if that's something that interests you, then be sure to check it out. It should be noted, I have changed, I've added in a Chandra, the 6-drop Chandra, Flamecaller, I believe she's called, and replaced her with a Vexing Scuttler, essentially. So if you check the description as well, you'll find the updated deck list if you want to change things around. It's literally one card for one card, so Chandra's in, Scuttler's out. Alright guys, I'll see you in the games. Alright, we're in. Oh god, this is, You know what, it's actually not too bad. We've got a board wipe. We've got loads of lands though, I mean... Could draw into something nice. I'm gonna keep it just on the fact that we can wipe his board later on. It's probably not a great idea, but we're going with it. Our opponent is rank 23, called Horizon. Hopefully he's playing a creature-based matchup so we can actually make good use of the fogs in our Turbo Fog deck. Evolving Wilds for our opponent. Is he going to sack it and let me know what colour he is? That'd be nice. Could do that. He's not going to do that. Alright, fair play. Well, we're not doing anything next turn anyway. Nope, we are definitely not. There's a Vexing Scuttler. Gets us back our Fog later on. So we're playing our Ether Hub, we get an energy. Makes it a 5-colour land. He sacks his Evolving Wilds for a white. Okay, so White Weenie is a possibility, though the fact that he's sacked for that white mana means that we might see red and it might be vehicles, perhaps. That would be my guess. White again. It's funny because I do see more often than not people playing White Weenie with Evolving Wilds, and it's not the worst idea. It's pretty bad, but it thins your deck out of lands and stops you getting flooded that way. It's not a great idea though, I wouldn't advise it, but we're just going to play our Forest, pass the turn over. We've got 2 Fogs in hand and a board wipe, and a Scuttler later down the line to go get us another Fog or board wipe. Slayer's Play, okay. Was that a blue? It was a blue. So this might be blue-white spirits then? I see a lot of people using these on spirits. We'll see. Go with the mountain, pass the turn. Next turn we can Green Warden. Oh no we can't. Yes we can. 4, 5, no we can't. It's 6th. Not that we want to anyway, because you want full value out of it. There's a Knight of the White Orchid. Okay. And he's going to be able to go grab a Plains. Prairie Stream would be my guess. No? Okay, just basic Plains. So it does say you can grab... I should have maybe destroyed that. Oops. Yeah, a Plains card, so you could get Prairie Stream with it. Don't know if our opponent knows that. So we're getting attacked for 6 next turn. Well, Sulphur Falls and Glimmer of Genius is going to mean that we get a new hand, essentially. So taking the 6 isn't too bad. We have 2 Fogs in hand. We have a board wipe for later down the line. And a chump blocker in the Fumarole. Now we're getting hit for 7. Oh dear. Really wishing I would have Kozilek's return now. But I was busy reading things. So 7 comes in. Sure. We might have to start on these Fogs a lot earlier than I'd hoped. Glimmer of Genius gets us some lands. No, can't afford to take any more lands. We get another Glimmer and a Thing in the Ice. Thing in the Ice ain't bad. Because we can Thing in the Ice and we can still Glimmer of Genius after. Which gets a counter off it. We can still Fog if we need to. We're taking 11 this turn. And he's probably going to tap down our Thing in the Ice. So we might have to Fog here if he pumps up his stuff. Bygone Bishop. Okay. Yeah. He's got a lot of creatures that are immune to our Kozilek's return, and that is unfortunate. If he attacks for 11 here, sure. We're going to take it. He's not in any burn colours. We're not dead. We can fog now, and it allows us to Glimmer of Genius to fill up on fogs as well. And that takes us down to 3 counters. We've got essentially enough here. Ooh. I think I'll take both of them. We've got enough here in our hand to actually bounce his entire board as well. And a land. That was absolutely perfect. Okay. We could Collective Defiance for 3. Let's see, what do we want to do here? We have a lot of fogs in our hand, so I don't really want to discard my entire hand. We can burn away his Bygone Bishop to get rid of his card advantage. Actually, we probably want to get rid of this Militia Captain. And burn our opponent's face as well. Yeah, let's do that. 4 damage to a creature, 3 to an opponent. Kill that, and ping our opponent. Gets a counter off Thing in the Ice. We're 2 counters away, which is 2 fogs essentially. Or maybe just our useless board wipe might also be an option, since it literally hits nothing. And doesn't kill our Thing in the Ice in the process. So we could do that on our turn next time to bounce all of his board away. Reflector Mage. Ooh. We can blow 2 fogs right now to wipe his board. And then we get to replay Thing in the Ice straight after because it's not called Thing in the Ice. Oh, let's do it. It feels bad because it kind of is, but it's the best of a horrible situation. So all the counters are coming off Thing in the Ice. Bounces all of his creatures back. He bounces the Awoken Horror, but that just means that we can't cast creatures called Awoken Horror. However, it comes back to our hand called Thing in the Ice, so we can recast it next turn. Plays a land, plays a Masterwork, and that is his turn. Okay, we're in a horrible situation now though. A very, very bad situation that I don't know if we can come back from. Green Warden leaves us with 2 mana open, but we don't exactly block anything nice. What I could do is get a fog or a commencement of festivities with the Green Warden, then block the Reflector Mage. If he pumps it up, then we get another fog back from it. That seems pretty good to me. Leaving up the festivities though, just in case. We'll just get the normal fog, I think. It is technically better than the commencement of festivities. And we'll pass the turn. Can't be having any more bounce effects, can't risk it. If we were to tap out, that is. So Knight comes down. Does he have more lands than us? He doesn't. So he gets another land. He gets a Plains. Chances of winning right now are about 10%. Just based off the fact that we haven't even found our tutelage. We're on 2 life and we're just kind of using up fogs at this point. Just to stay alive, so we're not really getting any benefit out of it. Thing in the Ice will come down next turn and we will be able to get 3 counters off it with our current hand situation. And probably with a Vexing Scuttler, emerging our Green Warden, getting back a fog, Vexing Scuttler, getting back another fog. Ain't bad. Selfless Spirit. Flyers mean that we have to pull the trigger on fogs, blockers or not. So I doubt our opponent is going to do anything. Nope. He doesn't have to. A land is pretty good, because we are running low on mana, really. So, we can cast Vexing Scuttler for 1 with the Emerge on the Green Warden. We can actually Kozilek's Return here, which will kill his Selfless Spirit. That ain't bad. Let's do that. That means that we don't have to use a Fog. It holds him off for a little bit. Yeah. Oh no, let's not do that just yet. Let's... Thing in the Ice first. It's 2 mana. Kozilek's Return. That's 5 mana. We've got 4 mana open, so we've still got a Fog. We get a counter off Thing in the Ice. We get rid of his flyer. Yeah. Okay. And then when Vexing Scuttler gets emerged, when he overextends, it'll deal 5 damage to everything. Cool. And then it'll get us back another Fog. So we might actually not be in as bad a situation as it first seems, because we're going to be able to mass bounce him again. We just need that tutelage real soon so we can actually get some work done. Glacial Fortress for our opponent into Bygone Bishop. Oh, please empty your hand. Please do it. There's a Reflector Mage. Probably bouncing our Thing in the Ice, which we're going to allow. Because he's just saved our creature, essentially. And then we're going to have to use a Fog here. Yeah. Yeah, because we need to emerge the Vexing Scuttler, really. Otherwise we're tapping out entirely, and that's not a good option. So, Fog. No blocks. The fact that it's a 7/6 is really annoying as well. Hydro Lash doesn't really help. So, let's... Vexing Scuttler... Is it when you cast or when it enters the battlefield? When you cast. Okay. So we can wipe his board all but the Reflector Mage, which is a 7/6. We can't really make a decent board state that gets rid of that. I wish he didn't have the Slayer's Plate and we'd be all fine and dandy, but he does. If we were to try find a Reclamation Sage, that would be... Is it 2 mana? It is. So 2 mana there. 1 mana for the Vexing Scuttler. I suppose we can afford to loot first to try find a Reclamation Sage, because then we get to completely wipe his board. We find a land instead, so we'll drop the land. Well, in that case, we're just gonna emerge our Vexing Scuttler, which allows us to put a Fog back in our hand. The Green Warden allows us to get a Commencement of Festivities back into our hand. Yes. Kozilek's Return triggers. 5 damage to his board. Yes. We've got 3 Fogs. And we can't afford to attack in, unfortunately. That does suck a little bit. This Slayer's Plate is the only thing that's stopping us from doing what we really want to do. Well, I guess we're just gonna pass the turn. We can't Thing in the Ice because he Reflector Maged it, by the way, if you've forgotten like I almost did. Sacks a Clue to draw a card. So we've got 3 good Fogs and a half Fog in Hydro Lash, and I'm probably just going to use the half fog just to cycle cards, to be honest, because we're getting very low on resources here. But I'll probably do it after we play Thing in the Ice. Okay. Now then. He didn't want to tap down our Vexing Scuttler because he knew we were going to fog here, so he wants us to fog. Thing is, if we get Thing in the Ice down and trigger it, we can get Vexing Scuttler back, which can get us another fog or more card draw, that kind of thing. So I'm actually just going to use a fog right here in hopes that Thing in the Ice will bounce our Vexing Scuttler and we can get another fog out of it. No blocks. Thalia's Lieutenant puts a counter on all of his creatures except for itself. And in Masterwork makes a big death creature. Oh, Glimmer of Genius. Right, well, Thing in the Ice. And should we glimmer now? What's the benefit of glimmering now? I don't think there is one. We're left with 3 mana. We have to dedicate one of that to fogging. So that's 2 mana open. I can't really think of a 2 mana thing other than another Thing in the Ice that would really want. So I'm just going to pass the turn here. Yep, go. Without a tutelage, we're not doing a great deal. We do have Chandra to push through some damage, but it's way past that point now. He's just going to bounce that Thing in the Ice. Sure. Gets a counter on his Thalia's Lieutenant. And gets in for 16. So we commencement of festivities. Prevent all combat damage. No blocks. And then we Glimmer of Genius to try and find some more fogs and some more answers. Well, there's a fog. Keeps us going a little bit. Reclamation Sage. Is it too late though? Might be a bit too late. Well, we'll go Lumbering Falls. We'll play out a Reclamation Sage. Get rid of his Slayer's Plate. Because that thing is annoying. Yep. Gets him a 4/5 that we can now block. And that's essentially all we're going to do here. We still can't Hydra Lash. If we didn't have the Always Watching, we probably could, but I think the Slayer's Plate is just far worse for us, to be honest. Yep, go. We're gonna self-mill ourselves at this rate. Docent of Perfection, he has... Is this a wizard as well? It's not. He does have 2 wizards though, so any instant flips the Docent. And makes his Reflector Mages flying. And a lot bigger. I'm gonna pay 2. I'm just gonna chomp with a Reclamation Sage here. I'm just gonna chomp with a Vexing Scuttler here. I don't really mind. It's not a problem. It just allows me to use a fog on a far worse situation. There's a Sphinx's Tutelage. Is it too late though? That's the question. We've got 2 fogs open. That's 2 full turns of mill, which is 4 cards. So, how many of our glimmers have we used? 3 out of 4 of our glimmers. We've used 1 of our 2 collective defiances. We've still got 1 glimmer and 2 comparative analysis card draw spells. Chandra to refill our hand. but I think it's just too little too late at this point. We'll play it out anyway. And Thing in the Ice as well, so we can get some counters off of that. But I really don't see us coming back from this. We're probably going to cycle Hydrolash as well. So we're going to probably Commencement Activities and Hydrolash next turn. Because we can't survive a hit after a Hydrolash anyway. So we may as well just recycle it and use it for the tutelage trigger. He has a Jace. That's another wizard. If he has a non-creature spell here, or it's just instant or sorcery, isn't it? Yeah. He has to transform into this guy and then makes all of his wizards stupidly good. Attack with everything, mate. You might as well. Hydrolash gets a counter. Commencement of Festivities gets another counter. We prevent combat damage. We've almost bounced all of his stuff. In fact, an extra instant or sorcery means that we'll wipe his board next turn. There's no point blocking. It's wasted effort. And maybe actually, if we do... Disciple of the Ring. This is actually Wizard Tribal then. Kind of. Human/Wizard Tribal. Oh, thank Christ for that. Alright, we might actually be back in the game. Yeah, I think this is like... You only really run this if you run a lot of wizards. And you've been playing a lot of wizards. Human wizards, more specifically. Which is interesting. I like it. Well, we're going to comparative analysis here. See what we can draw. You might as well. I'd like to use a non-fog card to bounce all of his stuff. Reclamation Sage isn't actually too bad, because what Reclamation Sage does for us is Keely's always watching, which means they no longer have Vigilance, which is not important. The fact is that it gets -1/-1. They take the anthem off of it, which means that all of these creatures entering the battlefield are in board wipe range. Problem is, you can make me pay 4 for a spell, so I'm going to have to not do that this turn. In fact, am I going to have to do that right now to bounce your entire board away? I think I am. So if I fog now, he can only make me pay 4 to stop this from being countered, which I can pay for. If I untap it, he's got every single instant and sorcery under the sun to be able to do it. Actually, he only has 2, but he might have an extra in his hand. I'm gonna fog now. Which flips Thing in the Ice. Oh, is that a horror? No, that's a horror. God damn it. Oh, that sucks. We can imprison in the moon it though. Which I guess I'm going to have to do. And then Reclamation Sage away, he's always watching. We know he doesn't have haste creatures, so I'll get in with the Awoken Horror. We do know he has Reflector Mages though, so this is... Oh yeah, I already fogged. Yeah, he's got Reclamation Sages, so... Not Reclamation Sages, sorry, Reflector Mages. So Awoken Horror is going back to our hand. Well, there's Disciple of the Ring. You can counter our spells for the next 9 years. And Baby Jace. No Reflector Mage. You can afford it. I think he wants to leave up Disciple triggers here. Is my guess. Okay. So, we've got Collective Defiance. I think this will only be for one if we discard our hand. And we're discarding a Reflector Mage that could be used on the Masterwork. That being said, it isn't the worst thing in the world. If I attack in, then he plays, maybe uses Disciple of the Ring to tap down. If he don't use it to tap down creatures, then he's going to have to use it to plus. So I'm going to try get some combat damage in, see if I can bait him into using his mana. No. Well, we're going to attack anyway. And he'll take it. Because we're going to kill Baby Jace here, I think. Collective Defiance. 3 to an opponent. 4 to a creature, and we'll get a new Reflector Mage. So we'll dump our hand. We will kill Baby Jace because he'll just pay 1 and make this a 4/5. And 3 to you. We can pay the 3 times that he can. Which he very likely does anyway. Oh, if we... Well, if you're gonna completely tap out... I think I might have killed myself, though. Oh no, I should be fine. I've got Lumbering Falls. Just thinking Reflector Mage is coming down. You shouldn't have done that, though, because I could have paid. But now, why should I pay if I know that I can't afford it? So, Reflector Maging now means that we can't use Lumbering Falls. I think he's got 2 Reflector Mages in, and I've completely forgotten about that. So instead, we'll leave up Lumbering Falls, which is hexproof, which can block. So we survive another turn, in theory. Loots with Jace. Makes himself a full-on adult, ready-to-play Planeswalker. Gets rid of a Militia Captain. Pluses? Minuses? What are you going for? Hang on. Insidious Will. Sure. So that has flashback until the end of the turn. Invocation of Saint Traft. That is the game. Attacks in, even if we Lumbering Falls. He has a flying 4/4. We're just gonna loot one more time. Oh, we're 1 mana short of fogging him. No. No. Oh, damn it. Oh, that... My heart hurts. Oh, we could have won. We could have won. Well, what can you do? We spent half the game without tutelage, and that pretty much just killed us. If we'd have got a tutelage a lot earlier, that 13 cards would not be 13 right now. It would be far worse, because we've done a lot of bouncing and a lot of card draw. But a lot of it's been wasted trying to find the 1 tutelage in the top half of our deck. Which is unfortunately the downside of any tutelage deck. But there you go. Right guys, on to the next game. Okie dokie, we're in. A very heavy land hand into a comparative analysis. I don't think that's good enough. We'll throw it back. 1 land hand, definitely not. 0 land hand, definitely not. 2 land hand. But it does have a tutelage, and it does have fogs. So, it doesn't bode well, but, you know. Opponent with their sweet-ass Liliana sleeves. Rank 24 called Joe 223987-2. Yes. In green-red. Is this werewolves, perhaps? If we hit a red mana, then this is actually a pretty sweet hand. But if we don't hit mana next turn, it can suck my phallus, is what it can do. Because it will be the worst hand in the world. Yep. Evolving Wilds for our opponent. Let's find out if he's more than 2 colours. He is. He's Jund. Okay. Oh, sweet hell. This has got loads of planeswalkers in it. Oath of Nissa, you may spend mana as though it was any colour to spend on planeswalkers. Another downside of this deck, it only has 2. Oh, yeah. No, not quite. We're behind on curve, but we do have the red. So next turn, tutelage. Turn after, Fevered Visions. Dragon's Skull Summit for our opponent into a Nissa Voice of Zendikar. At least that one ultimates in terms of combat damage for its victory condition. So it just makes a load of plants and gives them counters. That we can deal with. It's the planeswalkers that punish me for drawing cards and stuff like that as their ultimates. Sphinx's Tutelage. Let's get the train rolling into Lumbering Falls. So at least this turn we curved out nicely on our mana. Next turn we get to Fevered Visions and hold up a Fog for when he tries to send a message with his 0/1 plant token. Don't want to be getting hit by that. That's just asking to lose. And you know what? Liliana's ultimate also wins through combat damage means, so that too is not actually that bad. It's bad. There's no denying that. But it's not that bad. As long as we draw into loads of fogs, which Fevered Visions is going to allow us to do, and it'll also allow us to mill faster, which is great. Another land. I'm not against another land since we're not really doing anything. So, Fevered Visions, Cinderglade, pass the turn. Draw an extra card on our end step. Hopefully a fog. It's a Reclamation Sage, which dies immediately to Liliana, but it gets rid of an Oath of Nissa. Or some sort of enchantment that he might play elsewhere. Otherwise, I can't think what other enchantments he might play other than Oaths. Now then, Chandra, your ultimate is bad. When you cast a spell, it deals 5 damage to target creature or player. We only prevent combat damage. Chandra is the problem. We do have bigger Chandra though. So we could potentially sort her out that way. Plus Fevered Visions, if it deals damage to our opponent, I can redirect it to Chandra. So plus this is Liliana. So all hands on deck to get rid of Chandra. Draws an extra card. Ping is Chandra. Ooh, another land. That, actually, I don't think is too bad. Oh dear. He's just Jund mid-range. He can't kill us with his Nissa next turn. I don't think. What I'm thinking is Chandra plus attack 3 ones at his Chandra. She forces him to chump block. So even if he minuses and puts counters on his plant tokens, we're fine. Need to get rid of the other Chandra though, that's what we do need to do. Doesn't really matter where we point these, so we might as well just point them at different planeswalkers. Because either way he has to block the Chandra one, otherwise it dies, and then if we attack there and he just lets it go, then we've just wasted 3 damage. We get to get an extra card though. Fevered Visions is doing us some real work. Okay. Chances are he's not going to be able to empty his hand low enough for Fevered Visions. Be my guess. Judging by what we've seen, he's like 4 and 5 drops. And they're pretty bad ones as well. Arlincord, so this is just Jund Super Friends. With a load of mid-range creatures. Ugh. Just why? Just why? He gets a 2-2. Can this deal creature or player? So Arlin can actually ping our Chandra. Luckily for us, our Chandra gets to send some tokens at both Arlin and Chandra here. In fact, what we can do is we can point the Fevered Visions at Arlincord, which means that he can't minus her next turn. Takes some extra damage. Is he going to redirect to Chandra? He is. If he's doing that, it's not at us. It's usually the upside. So we'll point that at his Arlincord. Arlincord dies next turn no matter what. Because there's no chance in hell he's getting below Fevered Visions range. So, Hinterland Harbour. He's really played most of his Planeswalkers by now, so getting rid of Oath of Nissa is very much pointless in my books. We're going to plus Chandra. And we're going to send them one at Arlincord, one at Chandra. You can ultimate this, right? Yeah, but that's just drawing cards and gaining life, both things that we really don't care about. So he blocks the one going for Arlin, and lets the one at Chandra. So we can choose whether or not we want Arlin or Chandra to die next turn. Now, do we want a blocker? We can use Fog to stop him from killing our Chandra if he overcommits to something like that. Because he's going to plus Chandra, redirect. Then I'm assuming the Wolf token's going to come in and try to kill. And then Reclamation Sage wouldn't help with that at all in that scenario, but Fog would. So have we got 6 mana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 mana with Fog still open. So we'll do that on our end step. Draw a card, mill our opponent. We're halfway there. We are living on a prayer. Oblivion Strike. He's got a lot of creature removal. It's good for us. He hasn't built his deck around Turbo Fog. So he pluses Arlin. Pumps up his creatures. So we're planning on fogging here. Makes another plant token. Oh, he gives them all counters. Okay. Yeah, he minused. Sure. They're not vigilant, so he needs a blocker. Cool. Fog. No combat damage is dealt. Chandra lives. And what do we see from our opponent here? Probably a single blocker would be my guess. Plus is his Chandra. Probably redirects. Gets himself a Elvish Visionary off of the Chandra. So he's going to be able to draw a card. And a Nissa. Cool. Did he play his land this turn? I'm not quite sure. Well, he gets a forest. I'm assuming... Oh no, he hasn't done any of his Yeah, Liliana. Gonna plus, I guess. We could do with some fogs very soon. I'm gonna loot with a tutelage. Draw and discard. Get rid of an island. Point that at our opponent. We can kill... do I want to take down... I might want to tick down the Liliana so it doesn't ultimate. Because it's all fair and well saying that we can do really well against the ultimate, but we don't have any fogs in our hand right now to actually do that. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Right, we're going to be able to kill 2 of his planeswalkers here. So we're going to go Rootbound Crag, Radiant Flames for 3, wipe his entire board. Actually, we can do a lot more than that. We can Lumbering Falls. There's a 3/3. Plus Chandra. There's 2 3/1s. So 3 at you, 2 at you, 2 at you. Seems good to me. Actually, no, we'll send the 3 at Nissa. No, we'll send it at Liliana. You only make plant tokens. Takes you a lot of setup to actually do anything dangerous, and your ultimate helps us more than anything. So down goes his dangerous planeswalkers. We draw an extra card. It's a fog. Alright, I think it's a bit early to say it, but I think we might have this game in the bag. It's getting there anyway. Get rid of some of his board wipes. Sylvan Advocate. And another Sylvan Advocate. Sure. Pluses is Nissa. Oh, minuses, sorry, gives them all counters. And pluses is Liliana. Sure. And then we ping his Liliana. There's no chance in hell by the end of the game that he's ultimating that. I really want to hold on to this commencement of festivities. Just because if we don't have a fog in our hand, Chandra dies. And we can't really get past his creatures at the moment. What's in our graveyard? Just 1 fog. So what we do here is if we zero Chandra, we go down to Risky Town. Actually, it's not that risky, because we get 5 cards. That's 10 triggers, yeah. Discard all the cards in our hand. Sure. Ping, 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 ping. And ping. Because we get a Fevered Visions at the end as well, and a loot with a tutelage, so we have actually got him. And the final one. Sweet. Beat Super Friends. Oh yeah. GG. That's a good sign. Always nice to see Super Friends get destroyed. I hate it so much. Yeah. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. So if you did enjoy the content, then be sure to leave a like. It helps me out a great deal. And subscribe if you haven't already for more Magic Duels content, as well as other stuff. And if you're not sure what that is, stay for the end card, see the rest of the content I got to offer, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.